dressed like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna check what's going on out there.
Yeah, they came and said, Derick's got you guys walking. But yeah.
Yeah, they want to make a difference too. Well, thank you so much. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah,
All right,
bye.
nice meeting you.
Hi, Hafade. My name is Derick Hills, and that's Hills. I am from Guam, the U.S. territory. I am from the village of Agat.
Many people on Island are already familiar with who Derick Baza Hills is in his work with the Youth Congress, his community service, and also public activism.
You know, it just, I understand the problems for the youth that they say they don't care because, you know, it's just too much to handle. It goes on every day in the newspaper. When you pick up the newspaper and you see negative results, why don't we turn that around and think positive? Start to fight negative.
So initially for this feature, we asked to interview him, but I also found out he was doing canvassing in the village of Agat. So most candidates would wait until the summer to begin their campaigns, but Derick has already started.
Good morning. You already got one?
Girls.
Man, they beat me to it. Gosh, they're fast. I feel so slow then. Hi.
Hi.
No, not yet, not yet.
Governor.
No.
It's Mayor.
Vice Mayor.
Vice Mayor.
For Agat.
Oh shit.
You know, that's why on my signs it says Agat first. So every time you ask me to run for senator or governor, I always say my community comes first. So that's why I
Do they say this all the time?
Yeah, so that's why you know.
So y'all all practice already?
Yeah, Arlen is our classmate. What's he doing nowadays?
He's in the Navy, right? He's in the Navy though.
He's in the Navy?
Yeah.
He's in the Navy. Wow.
Hey
He's
man.
over here. I just met him now.
People in Agat are already familiar with him, but like all candidates for public office, he still pounds the pavement with his message.
Please support and vote, and if you're not, then we could find a way to register you. Actually, the mayor's office is registered from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Monday to Friday, and bring your birth certificate or any form of ID, and then you can register to vote down there. So if you really want a difference, you gotta help me out, and you know, if you want to register down there.
I know, I see like the mayor's office busting ass now, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know.
That's how it is, right?
We're all smart, we know why. We don't need to mention names or anything. We know why. But, you know, for me, I've been starting this since 2010 when I first ran.
Yeah.
And then once that election didn't go in our favor, I started campaigning since then. Because, you know, we want to let people know that our generation means business. So, you know, takes a while,
But you will get there.
Yes, of course. Thank you with your help.
As we went along, we began discussing issues regarding the village of Agat and what he saw were needs that had to be addressed.
One of the benefits of going canvassing too, right, is you get to look at what the infrastructure looks like, what the utility lines here, power, the state of maintenance. So it gives me an idea of what I need to be discussing with the community, and it works.
So far from what you see, what do you see as the biggest infrastructure need?
Well, for me, I think safety concerns, definitely. Blind spots here when it comes into the secondary roads, as well as power lines when you have overgrown trees. You know, the only way that we maintain them is if we take time to see when we need to come out here with bucket trucks from GPA, or if we can get loan bucket trucks from GSA to come out here and cut them down. Our roads, definitely. How we take care of that, I think we need to find out about water lines first, because one of the constant problems with the government, is we break up roads to fix water lines and patch them up, but we don't necessarily renew the roads. So we need to fix these water lines, put some new ones in, and then we can pave the roads back up, and that way we don't have to band-aid patch up the problems. So we just have to put a plan in place, and we have to follow it through, and then therefore we don't spend that much.
As he discussed issues and concerns with more residents, one family raised an issue of flooding due to a nearby creek, which he gladly described to us.
Hardly anything for drainage, so we really have to improve it by cementing it too, and taking away these vegetations that are going to hinder and be an impediment to the water drainage system. So good thing we came out here.
After we finished canvassing, we met up with the rest of his volunteers, went to a nearby restaurant, and it was there where we asked more questions and more in-depth discussion regarding his intentions. And the first question I asked him was his influences to get into public service.
You have to have the conviction for public service, and I have a long-standing line of family members who have been in public service, starting with my grandmother and my grandfather. Both of them have served in the Democratic Party of Guam, and because it's still a political party, I still find it that it's still public service to your constituents. And my grandmother's first president is the former governor, Derick, and he had inspired me back in 2000 to contribute to the community in any way I can, being that I was only 12 years old then. However, leading back into my family, today we find that there are still a lot of issues that still need to be resolved and mitigated. And in the community of Agat, since I've lived here for the last 10 years, there are a lot of outstanding issues. Infrastructure, there are program issues with our youth, there are Manumco issues, programs with them, as well as other issues that have to be dealt with beautification and safety issues. So I have a deep conviction to serve our community.
So I asked him about his plans for the village, which he was glad to elaborate on.
Youth are my number one priority. On day one, when I get in there, I expect to bring in our community members, our contributors from the private sector and as well as government, to find out and analyze basically that our youth are plagued with drug abuse and violence, and how can we allow our kids to look forward to something more positive. And many times our kids don't have anyone to look up to. Again, if you have someone my age that's in public office, it gives them an inspiration to allow them to think to themselves basically that if I can do and accomplish my dream, they can do the same thing. Well, I thought about it a few times, and when I first ran in 2010, I was 22 years old, and in order for you to run for vice mayor, you have to be 21. So you're thinking to yourself, why would a 22-year-old want to run for office and take on this incredible responsibility of all the stress, all the issues that are happening in our village? Well, first of all, again, it comes back from the family. When you see things that are happening from your family point of view and in the community, you really want to help out. And the best way to help out is get into the problem and into the seat that best arrange a way to solve these issues. And so when I decided to run for vice mayor, again, it was about inspiring others around you too. Because if you're the only one trying to make a difference, you can make a small, broad range of difference, but when you bring in other people, it tends to spread out much faster. And I find it fascinating that Agat will probably be one of the villages, the only village this election to have someone my age to run, and I really want to represent my village in the most positive endeavor in all the representation for the community. So I really find it fascinating, but I don't find it a strategy for people to vote for me. They want to vote for me because I'm young and innovative and energetic. I invite them to, but I really want them to vote for me based upon merit.
Okay, I think we're done. So
Okay.
now it's time to work.
Yes, over.
Okay. So what he just said was a simple message for the residents of Agat. And during the time filming, you can tell he's very determined, he's very driven. And we'll see him soon in public office one day. In time, thank you for watching and have a great day.